What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here at Darian's Pokemon. Gonna be playing a game on PTCGO today with my Buzzwole Garb list. I love this deck. I think it is perfect the way it is. Seeing a lot of players picking it up and trying it out themselves this week since Natalie finished in second place with it at the Collinsville Regional Championship, which is super awesome to see. Really love that, and I'm happy that other people are seeing as much success and loving the list as much as I do. I think the list honestly is pretty much near perfect. I can't imagine making too many other changes, if anything, to it. I mean, I have thought long and hard about this list, put a lot of testing into it, and I just love the way it runs. And honestly, I think that just this 60, it's great. And for as far as this deck goes, it's just the most consistent and well-rounded version of the list you can find. Gonna go ahead and throw this Trubbish down. I'm not exactly sure what deck I'm playing against. I think I want to slap the strong energy onto this thing as well. The Zygarde, gonna put the Fury Belt on too, and just say, you know what, we are going in with this Sycamore. And just gonna hope that, hope that this is fine. I had the Garbodor in my hand. I doubt that I'm gonna really need Garbodor, considering that my opponent's playing a Garbodor deck too. That's fine. It looks like we are being a little bit wasteful with our energy and our Sycamores here in the first couple turns. If my opponent does not end me, then I'm just going in for a Sycamore again, and that's exactly what's going down. Wonder what deck my opponent's playing. It looks like they're playing Espeon Garb, which is actually perfect considering that I started this Zygarde, but not perfect because my opponent is about to get the turn 1 Psybeam on me. Now, Natalie actually did end up doing pretty good with against Espeon Garb. I'm pretty sure she beat most of the ones that she played, which is pretty crazy because that should be like a horrible matchup for us, but it's actually not that bad. Now, if we look at these opening hands that I had in a Buzzwole Lycanroc deck, this would spell total disaster. Like, we would just lose with all this energy that we had to Sycamore away. This game would be over. But in the Buzzwole Garb deck, I love that about this list. You just don't really care. It doesn't matter. You can afford to Sycamore all this energy because you have Carbink. So we're just going to hope that we get a Carbink off of this second Sycamore here. Goodness knows we need one. I did get a Carbink, but I've got a bunch of things that I don't want to Ultra Ball away. We also have got Lillie here. I think that we have to Ultra Ball away the Buzzwole and the Float Stone. I do not want to just throw items into the discard like that, though. But we are going to have to do that in order to get more things going for us. I also look like I am going to have to just try to Cell Storm here, which is not something that I want to do, but it might be our only option. Let's start out with this Ultra Ball. I guess I Ultra Ball away the Float Stone. I could get the Fighting and the Buzzwole, but that's really not good. That's not what we want. And then I'm going to kind of like jam up my hand. I could get rid of the Carbink and the Fighting energy. That's not really that great either. I mean, it does spare me and make my opponent have to hit a Field Blower in order to actually remove some tools. I think I don't mind that so much. So let's try getting rid of those. And let's go ahead. Let's hope that my other Carbink break is in there. It is. So I'm fine with that. And then I think that next turn I'll just end up benching more of this stuff and then trying to Lillie for as much as I can. Like, that seems fine. I'll probably just put the Buzzwole down too. Hold on to the Float Stones in case my opponent plays Field Blower. And then let's just go for the Cell Storm. We've got to. If we hit the Cell Storm, that's really good. Oh, we got there. Confusion is the worst status condition in the game. Look at that. I mean, if 50% of the time, it doesn't do anything. So I did hear Natalie actually said that a lot of her matchups against Espeon Garb came down to confusion flips. And she also, I remember her saying that you don't actually want to start your Zygarde against Espeon for this reason exactly. You do not want this Zygarde to get confused. Now, I'm going to have to flip 2 heads in a row in order to knock out this Espeon. That's definitely not what I'm trying to deal with. But my opponent took the bait. They're just going to go ahead and Guzma up this Buzzwole, which I do not care care about because I'm sitting on these 2 Float Stones, when that is precisely why I decided to keep the Float Stones. I wanted to be able to get my opponent to not know what was in my hand exactly. So we are going to ditch these Float Stones and then Lillie for some more cards. Hope we get an energy, even though that is asking a lot right now. We did get an energy, so I can just throw an energy onto this Zygarde-EX and probably just wipe out most of my opponent's squad here. We only got 2 items in the discard pile, and my opponent does not have a lot going on. I've got Guzmas on deck in case my opponent decides to go ahead and confuse me, and you can see that they are dead drawing, which is what this deck tends to do. This deck tends to dead draw all the time because I really, at the core of myself, do not think that Espeon is a good deck. Like, I really don't think that it is. I think the deck dead draws out the wazoo. It doesn't do nearly enough damage, and it really depends on your opponent to pitch items into the discard pile in order for you to do any amount of significant damage. So I'm not a big fan of Espeon Garb, can you tell? My opponent's going to go ahead and end me. That is fine. And we can just play the slow game here. I've got a Carbink out. I've got a Carbink break in deck. There it is. It is a little bit troublesome that I do not have any sort of energy or draw card or anything like that. I do got an Ultra Ball now, so I can actually play that Ultra Ball for a Lele. But I think what I want to do is just Guzma up that Lele and knock it out. I mean, I really think that that probably is my best course of action. But then if I do that, then my opponent could put me in a compromising situation where they end me, and I don't want that to happen. So maybe I Ultra Ball the Guzma and Buzzwole away for a supporter, and I just go for Land's Wrath on the active. If I go for Land's Wrath on the active, then I put it in a situation where I can actually, just Jet Punch this thing and knock it out. That where I take my guaranteed 2 prizes right now. I think I probably just take my guaranteed 2 prizes right now, even though that is a little bit sketchy. If my opponent ends me, I'm in a horrible situation, but 170 damage is nothing to joke about. So let's just go ahead and make sure we get this guaranteed 2 prizes, force my opponent to end me here, and hope that I could just draw an energy off of this. Now, I do have a lot of energy down, but I do have time on my hand. I mean, I have gone up in prizes so quickly here that all I need to do is get an energy onto this Carbink break, power up a Buzzwole, and then I should be home free. My opponent is going to go for Lele, though. They're trying to find a, you already know what they're going for. They're going for N. I have gone up on prizes way too quickly. So that was a little bit of a gamble there, but I was wagering that if my opponent ends me here, then I will have plenty of time to be able to draw out of this mess. That was the hope, however. So long as my opponent does not have an ability Garbodor here, which I have to imagine that they are probably going for off of this Ultra Ball, I could have used this. Yes, I could have used this Ultra Ball for a Lele myself. Now, very smartly, they are going for their Toxin Garbodor, trying to limit my options, and gonna Psychic this thing for knockout. That is very unfortunate. Zygarde, you put in some work, you took a ton of prizes, but unfortunately now, we need to draw out of this, and it does not look like we are probably going to be going anywhere anytime soon. I could Max Elixir. That seems counterintuitive. I am not trying to do that. All I want to do is get an energy to put onto this Carbink break, and so long as I don't put any energy anywhere, I probably will be fine. Don't want to just feed my opponent's Garbodors either. They're trash lands, so I don't want to put that Max Elixir in the discard pile unless I have to. I think I'm just going to go ahead and pass and see what my opponent has to offer. They are not one-shotting me right now. They are not one-shotting my Buzzwole, at least this Buzzwole anyways. I do need to draw out of this, though. So maybe I should have gone for the Zygarde on my Espeon, maybe, because then if I do hit, obviously I'm in a better scenario, but if I miss, I think I'm in just a worse scenario, because then my opponent knocks out the Zygarde, And I only have, we each only have 4 prizes. Looks like my opponent's going to intelligently divide me. They're probably going to throw the rest of that damage onto this Carbink so that they can knock out the Carbink if I were to promote it. That makes a lot of sense. They're just going to put probably 2 or 3 over here onto the Carbink break so that they can actually knock that out with Psychic as well. Yep. They are doing that, so heads up play by my opponent. We've got to get something else going on here. I could Ultra Ball, and also they put it on the bus, so now they can knock out anybody that I promote. So that was a really heads up play by my opponent there. Definitely good. Can we get... Oh yeah, we got a Sycamore. Okay, so we are back in it to win it. I think I just go for the Max Elixir. I don't want to Ultra Ball for anything. I think I just go for it. Like, I'm going to play this thing anyways. Yep, there are like no energies left in my deck, dude. We need to hit this Carbink right now. So let's just go ahead and do that. We are going to Sycamore, and we are just in it. Oh no, we did not hit. We did not hit. We need to put this Lele down though. And I think what I need to do is I need to retreat into the Lele and pass and hope that my opponent cannot knock me out. I think that is all I've got. If they have Guzma on my Carbink, this game is over, and that would be really, really bad. So we're just going to pass, and hopefully my opponent does not Guzma up that Carbink. If they know what's up, they are going to Guzma up the Carbink. That is definitely the most optimal play for them to make. They will just take me right out the game right now if they do that. If they swing into my Lele, though, I can afford that. I can afford them to swing into my Lele, but I would need another Float Stone. Do I even have another Float Stone in deck? I do have 1 Float Stone left in deck. I cannot afford to let this Lele get knocked out either, so that is bad. Let's see, I think we have to... I got 2 Max Elixirs. Okay, so what do I even play these? I think, 5? I have 4 Fighting Energy left in deck. I think I probably play them. Yep, let's just play them. Let's see. I don't know. All right, we've got 1, and we're going to throw that onto a Buzzwole. And then maybe we can hit the second one. I don't know. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. We got it. Okay, now we're on to something. And we're going to hit it on that Buzzwole. And then I think I just bench this Lele, and then we have to Cynthia. But if my opponent gets a Guzma, that is just a horrible situation. All right, that's fine. We're in. This is life we're living. We got to do it. Cynthia, go ahead. Cynthia, hopefully they don't have it. That is just what we got. We don't have any other options. I could put this Fury Belt on. That's good at least, but I don't have any way out. So it looks like my opponent is going to be knocking out this Tapu Lele next turn. I could throw the Fury Belt onto the Tapu Lele. I probably should have thrown the... I don't know. This is just where we're at. It's all bad from here, folks. I mean, I need a strong energy top deck or else this game is lost. So let's just go ahead and burn this Nest Ball. I'm going to grab a new Buzzwole, I guess. And that's just it. I don't really think that there's too much else we could do. Just got to hope that my opponent does not have Guzma. This is not a great matchup. I don't know how Natalie won all these. But I think, you saw we did put in some pretty decent work there early with Zygarde. Had we just been able to have some things buff out, this is not like the worst matchup ever. I think I just had to Sycamore an absurd amount of energy here that I have just missed some really crucial energy attachments. If I could have thrown an energy, they did not have the Guzma. Oh my goodness. So you are saying that if I just can top deck an energy out of my 12 card deck, they did not. Oh my goodness, they did not. Oh, we couldn't do it. You're saying we couldn't do it. We could not top deck that energy out of the deck. Okay, so that is not good. That is definitely not good. But let's go ahead and see what we can do here. We just got a Cynthia. We got a Cynthia. I can't Guzma. I need a Cynthia, and I need to hope that I needed to hit like a Float Stone or something. I think. I don't really think that I could have done this. I mean, they probably have Guzma, or else they would have. Let's just retreat this thing. I think. Let's retreat into Carbink, I guess. I think I can't attach that energy anywhere else. I just need to hope that, I need to hope that my opponent just doesn't have it. And I got to hope that I top deck an energy. Let's just retreat into Carbink and see what happens here. Done. And my opponent's got 3 prizes left. If they don't have Guzma, I win. I imagine they have to have Guzma now. Unless they have literally ditched like all their Guzmas and prized the rest of them. There's no way they've shuffle draw this much without having access to Guzma. That would be totally insane. They don't have it. Oh my gosh. But do I have it though? I don't. What in the world? I do not have it. But this is fine. What is my energy situation like? My energy situation is not great. But I think that if I just, if I N, put this here, let's just go ahead and N. Let's Ultra Ball first. Let's Ultra Ball away the Parallel and the Trubbish. Let's take a look at my deck real quick. I do have 2 Guzma left in my deck. Okay, so that's fine. Let's grab my own Garbodor here. And we're just going to end my opponent to 3. I think I need to go up and hit this thing, though. Like, I think I have... Do I have energy left in deck even, though? I might not. 1, 2, and then let's see. 1, 2... Plus 6, I have 8, and that's my last strong. I forgot to check if I had energy left in deck. So that is sketchy. I think I just pass. And I could hit this thing for Knuckle Impact 160, 180, 190. Then I would need 10 more damage. I think I'm just going to pass. Yeah, let's just pass. I'm going to pass. I'm going to hope that I top deck my Guzma. I think that I'm not sure if I have my energy left in deck. And I don't want, at this point, I'm just assuming like, yeah, my opponent like doesn't have win, or else they would have played it a long time ago. So I think I'm hoping that I just top deck my my Guzma here. I mean, that's like my only out. Okay, so I didn't get it. So now we are gonna hope that I have to imagine my opponent probably has game at this point. I mean, maybe they ripped that long lost Guzma off their prizes that they could never find. I'm just in a real grinder of a spot here. They're loading up their board. They have Cynthia. Where are their Guzmas? Do they have 4 Guzmas down? Like, is that they have 1 Guzma down and that's it? And you're telling me they have not been able to find their other one? If I top deck a Guzma here, that is going to be so wild. I'm going to be a little salty if I actually had access to an energy and I top deck energy here. But I do have 2 Guzma left in deck, so I have like a decent shot of actually top decking this right here. And we got it. Okay, crazy game. We got there. Verse is Espeon Garb, our worst matchup. There we go. Knuckle Impact. See, and you can see I actually made the right play by not going in and attacking, because I had 2 outs to Guzma in my deck, and if there was an energy left in my deck, which I forget if there was, but if there was an energy left in my deck, there was only 1 energy left in the deck. So I actually had a higher chance of drawing into Guzma for game than I did of drawing into the second energy to be able to finish off the damaged Espeon for game. So that was a crazy game, able to run it back. I cannot believe that my opponent went so many turns without finding another Guzma. And I gotta imagine they at least play 3. Maybe they last prized a couple Guzma and just had some horrible luck. But crazy, crazy game. I imagine that you guys are probably pretty familiar with the Buzzwole Garb list. This is the same old, good old Buzzwole Garb list that I finished in the top 32 of Collinsville with. Love this list. I think it's great. Just consistent deck. Even when you draw into some weird hands with it, you could just win games. I mean, that was just against Espeon Garb. We got there versus Espeon Garb. That should be a horrible, horrible matchup. I mean, in it, sometimes you end up winning just because that deck's not all that great. But, shout out to my opponent. Kudos for a good game. Some bum luck there, not drawing into the Guzma you needed to win. But thank you all for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel. Let me know what you guys think about the Buzzwole Garbodor list in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter at EnjoyFriend, ENJOY friend. Thank you all for watching. Peace.